And we'll send it back out now to Storm Team 44 meteorologist Gunnar Console. He's tracking the latest for us as we head into Super Bowl Sunday, Gunnar.
Yeah, and fortunately it is going to be drier than today because, nothing was worse than the dreary conditions that we saw earlier today. It sure was a wet one. Now that it's drier, we're at least, seeing drier conditions, but it is certainly and drastically colder. It's 38 degrees right now. Feels like 30 though, and that's because it is pretty blustery out there. We have a strong north wind blowing at 12 miles per hour, and every now and then we're seeing wind gusts up to 20 to 25. So it's definitely the night that if you are doing anything out and about, maybe taking the dog out, the trash out, it's going to be cold. You're going to want to have a layer even if you're out for just a minute, just because it does feel a little bit uncomfortable if you're not wearing enough layers. It's 40 in Madisonville, 38 in Owensboro, and 37 in Harrisburg. Now, with that being said, how low will temperatures get tonight? Not too low. We are going to be seeing cloud cover keep our temperatures right around those low 30s. So any standing water could refreeze tonight in some of those puddles. So not really looking at a black ice concern on the roadways, but looking at maybe a black ice concern for the sidewalks, areas that don't drain quite as easily for the overnight. So just keep an eye on that tomorrow as we see temperatures below freezing. Now, tomorrow morning, we're cold. We are going to be seeing blustery winds continue. So even during the midday and afternoon, as we warm up close to 40, but not quite, we are going to be seeing that cloud cover, cold conditions. But a lot of us won't be outside tomorrow. That's just a matter of fact because it's going to be the Super Bowl. So I would argue that this is somewhat nice weather for the Super Bowl. It's cold enough that it makes us want to stay inside and watch the game, because if it was 70 degrees like it was just this past week, we would want to be outside and not wanting to be watching it. Now, here's two things to talk about. We got light snow for our Tuesday and then heavy rain for our Wednesday. Here's the impacts, only minor impacts for both of them. So we're not looking at anything that we're too concerned about. And then the probability or the confidence in that forecast, well, right now we have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen on Tuesday. The confidence in what we are forecasting right now playing out exactly, it's about 75%. So we have a decent idea. Wednesday, though, we do have a much better idea of what to expect, and that's because there's a lot less variables at play. With Tuesday, the snow is always tricky to forecast. So let's talk about it. We are going to be looking at Monday evening. Precipitation is going to be pushing into a cold tri-state. So we're going to be below freezing Monday night. Precipitation is going to try to push north. But as you can see, we are right on that cusp. If this storm is just 10 miles south, we don't get really anything. So there is going to be a snowstorm. That's the fact. But it's not really going to be our snowstorm. It's more so going to be areas to the east that see that snow. So that's why that forecast for Tuesday is so tricky, because we aren't really in the bullseye for that. So we're going to be monitoring those margins. We got a chance for rain on Wednesday, and I'll talk more about that in my final check of the forecast.